We're back today to fix one of the mistakes I made while making the greenhouse. And one of the biggest mistakes I made was the ventilation. I knew when I made the greenhouse that this was actually undersized for the summer, but going through things, figuring things out and how the greenhouse works, we found out we needed a much bigger fan. So here we are today, we're gonna fix that. And the biggest way to do that is to either remove this, put in a bigger fan, or just add another bigger fan. So that's what we're gonna do, add another bigger fan. When I said we're adding another bigger fan, we're adding another bigger fan. That's right, this guy's 18 inches big. This thing's gonna blow so much air, we're not gonna have any more issues with this place getting hot, even during the summer. So we're gonna be happy with this. And the first thing we gotta do to put this fan up, take this window out. The window took me a little longer to get out, but it's finally out, thanks to the Sawzall. What you probably notice is that this is a nice big rectangle opening, and the fan that I got is a box square. It's 18 by 18 inches. That I'm going to need to fit in here, so we're going to have to custom fit this a little bit to make sure that the new fan fits. And this is 24 inches wide and this is 16. So I'm going to take out this 2x4 up top, and then that'll get me somewhere around 17.5 inches, and then I'll just skim cut this 2x4 here, that extra ½ inch, to get me to 18 inches. And this being 24 inches, I'm going to add a bunch of 2x4s. I think it's 4 2x4s here to shrink this down to the 18 inches. And of course I'm going to have to paint them because everything else is white. So we'll have to wait for that to dry. And after that, we'll be able to put the fan in, and then we can start the electrical. You know, when you're on a project and nothing's going as planned, this might be one of them, but we're getting through it. Believe it or not, it's probably been about an hour of me working on this just to get that window and this piece of wood out, but one step at a time. Here we are, I got my block up here. So this spot from here on over is just over 18 inches. I think it's 18.25 inches. Just wanted to give myself a little bit of gap just in case the fan is slightly wider than 18 inches. It's got a lip on it, so the lip I think is 1 inch on each side, so there'll be plenty of room and plenty of coverage, so I won't have to worry about that. So all I gotta do is block this up with 2x4s, but at the same time I still have my issue of this being 17.5 inches. So I got a skim cut where I marked right here, that about ½ inch. I got to cut that out, so that's not going to be fun, but we're going to give it a try and hopefully it works out well. We got our space cut. Now it's time to hopefully fit this in, and we'll see what happens. Alright, well, that didn't work out, but I think I know exactly what's in the way. This screw right here. Or this one. One of those two felt like it was in the way. Let's try that again. There we go. Cool. Now we just got to get a bunch of 2x4s, put them here, paint them, paint everything else, call it a day after we do the electric. So we're at the point where we put in these wooden spacers to fill the gap right here. So I pre-cut these to size, so they're just 16 inches and they're pre-cut, ready to go. I made 3 of them because the 4th one would get too far over into the bigger exhaust fan, so 3 it is. Alright, so you know, I said earlier about a project that really not everything's going to plan. Well, this happens to still be one of them. I put up my 3 spacers and it just wasn't enough. The holes for the exhaust fan were just not seen. So I tried putting up a 4th 2x4 here. That was too much, like I assumed and thought, but I was right. So to make up for the gap, I'm gonna end up putting in these pieces of plywood at about a 1/2 inch each. So I'll have an inch rather than your 2x4, which is actually 1.5 inches. So hopefully that will get me exactly to where I want, and I got these kind of as other shims. Alright, so I think this is gonna work because it lines perfectly up with my mark here at the 18-inch mark that we skim cut. So I think we're in for something pretty good. Oh, there we go. Now that we know it fits, we just gotta paint the new pieces of wood and let them dry, and finally finish up the rest of the wiring. Well, there it is, all painted up, ready to go. Once it dries, we'll get the fan in its place, secure it in, and run the electric. Alright, so we finally got the fan mounted up, and all 8 screws are in. I also flipped this around so that the electric is down on this side and coming out this way, because I'm pretty sure I want to have it connecting to this. So I'll put a junction box probably somewhere around here that'll connect right to there. Get these going in, and hopefully it'll all work out. We'll see. Moment of truth time. Plug it in, see if we see any sparks. Holy crap. They both work. Alright, bad news. So this one's getting enough juice, this one isn't, and it's probably because of the switch that I'm using. So I'm gonna have to use 2 separate switches, keep them separate, which is fine. I was trying to get a little shortcut in there, but we'll be alright. So I talked to Rochelle. She basically told me, do whatever's easiest. She's probably tired of me working on this all day, which is understandable, because I'm tired of working on this all day too. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to use that junction box that's up there, connect the wire that's already kind of ran through the conduit, and use that wire, connect it to the junction box up there, and then coming through the junction box and out, I'll have this cord coming out. Hopefully you were able to see what I did. Basically the cord coming out of the exhaust fan is going to the new wire, just connected white to white, black to black, green to green. Ran that wire straight down into here, and this outlet, it's not connected to this outlet, it's just basically I'm using it as a junction box, which probably isn't a code, but what can you do? In that junction, I just, once again, white to white, green to green, and black to black, and now I have my cord here. So before I hook this up, I want to make sure that my original fan is working. And alright. So that's working as it should. Now let's see if the new fan works. Alright, so that's working. Let's plug in the dimmer switch. Alright, and that works well too. One thing I gotta do, I gotta get on the other side, the outside, and I gotta undo all that stuff from out there. Basically the louvers are stuck in place, so I gotta undo that and make it clean and nice. But that's about it. Patch up a few things, clean up a few things. Finally, after a long day, we finally got both the fans up and running and working. So let's see what we got here. That one and that one. And they're moving some air, let me tell you. The fan is in, everybody's happy, it works, it's going to be moving a lot of air, and if you don't have a custom thing to put it in, like I did, where you're modifying, putting boards in, you're going to be done a lot faster than myself and a lot easier and a lot less headache. So hopefully that'll help you out. Hopefully this will get you going and maybe you'll do this yourself. Thank you. Bye.